Hey everybody, welcome to another video. It's been a few months since I made an actual update, so I thought I'd make another one now. Just to warn you guys, this video is probably going to be pretty long, even in comparison to my past videos, because I have a whole lot of stuff to cover. So much in fact I actually had to make a list of stuff for myself to remember to mention in this video, because I have a lot going on, a lot of different stuff I've been doing the past few months. So, I made a few videos over the past couple of weeks, like a review on a laptop I got from my dad, and a tutorial on something. But yeah, it's been a while since I made an actual update. I think the last update video I made was when I was at college, like back in I don't know, October or something. I can't remember quite. But yeah, now's a pretty good time for an update, and I've got a whole lot of stuff to cover. So I really don't know where to start. So I'm gonna start probably somewhat chronologically. So, a few months ago, firstly, I'll mention the fact that I got a website up running for you guys to view, and I'll also mention how that ties in with a few other things, like the fact that I want to make an online gaming community, have game servers running. But, firstly, this is something different. I'll show you this in a sec. Don't worry about that. Essentially, several months ago, I was sitting at college with my Dell Precision 690 server I made a video on, and I decided I wanted a website. You know, I mean, as someone who's technical and has a business side to what I do, I wanted somewhere where people could go to view information on me, get contact information, and all that stuff. So I decided I wanted to make a website. So with that Dell Precision server I just mentioned, I decided that I was going to try to host my own website. But me having no web design experience and really not knowing how to use things like, SQL Server or any of that stuff, I tried setting up a web server on my Dell Precision 690 server at college, but that unfortunately and quite honestly didn't go anywhere because I could not configure things properly. I spent hours on it. I have a friend who has some web design experience at college with me, and he just couldn't figure it out either. So it was a pretty daunting thing. I was trying to use Internet Information Services 7 with WordPress, which necessitated the installation and configuration of like MySQL and a few other programs I have no experience with. So unfortunately, I was trying to make a website, but I couldn't get it to work with hosting it myself. So what I decided to do was I decided that rather than having no website and waiting around until I actually know what I'm doing to host my own website, I decided that what I'd do is I'd have someone else host a website for me. So there was a company called Dynadot that someone recommended to me that I bought the domain rainvilletech.net from. And it ends up they also have a website builder. So what I went ahead and I bought a domain from them, rainvilletech.net, and as well as that, I bought their website builder for, I think it's like $50 a year or something. So, using the website builder, I built a website for myself, and on rainvilletech.net, I've got my website running. Now, there's the URL, in case I'm mispronouncing it. Every time I say my last name, Rainville, people think I'm saying Renville or Grainville or something, because apparently my enunciation is that horrible. So yeah, rainvilletech.net. Doesn't have a whole lot of information on it, because Dynadot doesn't support, well, for the basic package that I got, they don't support a whole bunch of stuff. You have to have a static website with a maximum of 5 different tabs. This took a whole lot of time to configure. They give you these stupid pre-made layouts that are all dumb looking. I had to do a whole lot of simplifying to make this website not look like hell. But I've got like a home page to this website. I've got an about, I won't bother showing you. A tab on my products and services I offer, like custom PC design and building, which is really a service I wish people requested more from me. I love building custom PCs, but I haven't had a single customer who wanted me to do that for them yet, which is kind of sad. But yeah, and refurbished PCs and computer repair. Just a quick description of each, pretty self-explanatory. I have a contact page saying basically like what my email is, and adding my Steam account. Didn't put my phone number on there because I don't want my phone number to be spammed by people who want to spam me. But pretty much all I've mentioned so far is that yes, I have a website running, but unfortunately no, it is not being hosted off my own machines, although I will host this website off my own machine as soon as I can. After I do that, I just have to figure out how to, learn HTML and CSS to a point at which I can actually make a good-looking dynamic website. But until then, this is the best I got for a website, so hopefully it's better than nothing. And on top of that, moving into my next thing I should mention, I have a tab on my website called Game Servers. I'm running a variety of game servers, including a TeamSpeak server like Garry's Mod, Minecraft, and Rust Legacy. I was running these game servers off my Dell server at college, the same machine I was trying to set up that web server onto. And these servers aren't actually currently running right now. As of January 12th, they should be back up again, which is 4 days from now when I go back to college, because I left my server at college. I think I already mentioned that, but anyway, as soon as I get back to college, I'll turn my server back on, and these servers will all be up again, with the potential exception of the Rust server. I don't really know if I even want to run that, because that game is still under heavy development. Isn't really in a, not really in a solid place yet to run a server for it. And I did mention these servers once, and people did join the Minecraft server, but people were kind of disappointed that I didn't have any mods on them. Which should be changing soon. I should be putting mods in them in the near future, and I've got a few Garry's Mod servers running different game modes up. But as I mentioned earlier in this video briefly, I want to make a gaming community. I think it would be awesome to have a variety of different machines running different game servers. With a decent website for my gaming community that people can join, that can sign up for. There would be a forum page, there'd be a community. I'd have a whole bunch of different game servers. I think any of you guys that play video games, other than Minecraft probably, will probably know that these gaming communities exist all over the place. And they're really not that hard to make. I mean, I have all the hardware for them. I have plenty of physical servers. The only things I need are, one, a good network to run the stuff off of, because these servers are being run through a VPN from my college network for the sake of internet accessibility, which isn't the most reliable. These servers do cut out every few hours or so for 20 seconds, roughly. So all I really need to improve things is, like I just said, to reiterate, a better network connection, and B, a good website. So I'm trying to work on those things. As soon as I get myself a good website and figure out how to do all the hosting myself, I'll figure out, hopefully, how to make a website for my potential gaming community, which would be great to have again. So once my gaming community gets up, if it ever goes anywhere, who knows, it might not, I'll have a whole bunch of servers running, with hopefully a website and all that. But that's kind of a thought. That's long in the distance. I'll provide you guys with updates on that for those of you who are interested, if that actually goes anywhere, although it might not. So yeah, there's that. I've showed you so far in this video my website and my potential gaming community. So, moving on, about a month or two ago, about a month and a half ago, I applied for a job at my college to be a networking administrator for one of the campuses. Fortunately, though, I didn't get the job, which kind of disappointed me, so I was wondering why I didn't get it, and I realized that I don't really have enough experience with Linux. That's something I really need to learn more about. So in the past month or so, I've been teaching myself a lot more about Linux and how to use it. And in the process of doing that, I've also discovered virtual boxes, or virtual machines. In this specific instance, I'm using Oracle VirtualBox Manager. I've been using this to teach myself a little bit of Linux. Because in the past, I've heard people talk about virtual machines before, but I always assumed they'd be really difficult to configure and not that useful. But it's actually pretty fun, I think. So pretty much, I put a bunch of server on this. I'm not even going to bother booting up. It has no GUI anyway, so it's just a command line interface. But essentially, I installed Ubuntu server on a virtual machine on my gaming PC here to start teaching myself Linux. I also have a Dell Precision. Is it Precision? No, it's Dell PowerEdge 2600 server I got about a year and a half ago. I've made several videos on that. I also put Ubuntu server on to help myself learn it. And as well as that, moving into the next thing I'm going to mention in this video, I decided to make myself a home backup server, which is currently running Linux, which I'll move into right now. So a friend of mine, I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent here, but a friend of mine, like, I don't know, a year or two ago, said that he was making a home backup server. And he was using the old Dell Dimension 3100, which is actually the exact same model of desktop right here, to build that home backup server. Essentially, something that sits on the network that, theoretically at least, isn't internet accessible, that just runs backups from all the different machines on the network, so that if any of those other machines crash, you get all your files back and stuff, theoretically. and he has Windows 7 running on his home backup server running CrashPlan. And I decided that would be cool to make my own home backup server because A, I could use it, B, it would be cool to do, and C, it would help me learn Linux. So instead of using Windows 7 for this, like buying a copy of Windows 7 or even more expensive, a copy of Windows Server, I decided to take Dell Dimension 3100. I bought a 4TB hard drive for it off Newegg.com for $160. Popped it in this thing right here, and I installed Xubuntu on it. Now, Xubuntu is essentially the same thing as Ubuntu, just that it's not less expensive, sorry. Well, it's less hardware intensive. That's totally wrong, except it isn't. It's less hardware intensive to run. Oh, great. Anyway, one sec. So I went ahead and installed Xubuntu, and I installed CrashPlan. I have a whole bunch of backups running from my gaming PC I was just on. An iMac I have that I bought a few years back with all my home videos and pictures on it, and my mom's new laptop, which I haven't made a video on yet. So it's working pretty well, except for occasional system problems I've been getting. I don't really know what's going on with that. If I go to, let's spin my password real quick, hold on. Yeah, these occasional, oh, I forgot to, show details. It's a problem with TeamViewer. TeamViewer is screwing something up. So yeah, it's been giving me occasional issues with TeamViewer, it looks like, but they're not fatal problems, and the computer is still running. So hell, you know, I don't know if this problem is really something to pay attention to. But other than this little non-fatal issue, it seems to be working pretty well as a backup. I've been running a backup from my iMac for about 2 or 3 days now. It's copying 400 gigabytes over my network at about 19 megabits per second, which is pretty damn slow because recently my parents, well, sort of upgraded the internet. We used to get our internet from AT&T, but a company called Frontier Wireless came in, bought out AT&T's business, and now we have internet from Frontier Wireless. And they gave us a really crummy router that the transfer speeds on that thing over the network are like horrendous. So I have my iMac sitting inside transferring files to this backup server I just talked about over the network, and it's going that slowly, which is like, what, 2 megabytes per second? Just horrendously slow. So I'm not really too happy with them, although they did boost their internet speed from 150 kilobytes per second to a blazing 300 kilobytes per second. Yeah, we have really fast internet now. We got 1/3 of a megabyte a second. Isn't that great? No, it's horrible, but yeah, whatever. So that's that. Yeah. I'm considering making a video on how to make a home backup server using Linux, because Linux, again, is a very good alternative to Windows, especially as pricing is concerned, and also, usually, also in the form of reliability. So, if you guys want to see a video on how to make a home backup server, let me know when I can do this. So, yeah. So I think that's all I have to mention on this backup server. All in all, it's running pretty well. It cost me $160 for the hard drive. Linux is doing okay. CrashPlan's a decent program, kind of lacking in some customizability settings, but overall it's all working pretty well. And I'm happy with it. What more? Okay. I had to look at my list for a second to remember what next to mention, or what to mention next to me. So here, as many of you may know from my past videos, this is my 2009 gaming desktop. I've had this thing for, well, it's built in 2009, about 5.5 years now. And it's seen a lot of upgrades over the years. I upgraded to a Core 2 Quad, I put a better video card in it. And recently, I decided that since I have, well, okay, this is hard to explain, sorry. When I built the 2012 gaming PC over there, was just on a few minutes ago, I originally had a 64 gigabyte solid state drive in it. It was like a Crucial M4, I think, 64 gig. But I upgraded the hard drive to that machine about a year ago to a 240 gigabyte solid state drive, leaving me with a spare 64 gigabytes. So what I did several weeks ago was I took that spare 64 gigabyte that's been lying around, and I popped it into this 2009 PC. So I'm now running a 64 gig solid state drive and a 320 gigabyte hard drive in my 2009 gaming PC. And if it were actually hooked up and plugged into my monitor and everything, I'd show you it, but I'll spare you guys the time. Essentially speaking, the upgrade made it quite a bit faster. In fact, I was running this computer off a 500 gig drive because about a couple years back, I had the 320 gigabyte drive from this thing, and I found a 500 gigabyte someone throwing out or something. So I took that, popped it in this thing, but ends up the 500 gig was rather slow. So normally I'd go back and put everything back on the 320, but I decided in the meantime just to pop everything on the 64 gig solid state drive. So all in all, this computer is now upgraded to a 64 gig solid state drive, and running the original 320 gigabyte as a secondary. It seems to be pretty fast. Like, it's pretty quick to start up. It's pretty snappy. It's actually a very decent machine now, even though I originally built it 5.5 years ago. But yeah, I did notice that it only has 4 gigs of memory, and it is kind of lagging behind a little bit on that. I could put more memory on it, but this motherboard's really not accepting of memory. I tried putting more memory in at one point, and it wouldn't take it. So I don't know what to do with it. I don't know if I want to upgrade to 8 gigs of memory or not. Might not be worth it, especially considering the fact that I only use this computer when I come home from college and when I'm not going to use my 2012 PC. So I think it's okay. You know, it's got a 2.83 gigahertz Core 2 quad, 4 gigs of DDR3 memory, downclocked to 1066 megahertz for compatibility reasons with the motherboard. GTX 560, 64 gig solid state drive, and 320 gig hard drive. I think it's pretty good. So that's my ramble on that. Moving on. Oh my god. So, as I'm sure all of you are aware, as of now, Christmas was 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I picked out and bought my dad a laptop for his business. I didn't pay for it, of course. Not his business, but the company he works for paid for it. I made a review on that. I can't show it to you right now, though, but that's a ThinkPad X240. It's a pretty solid little business laptop I made a review on a week or two ago, but problem is the screen on it died, so I have to call good old Lenovo customer support and get a new screen for it. That sucks. I also bought my mom a $500 Lenovo ThinkPad Edge 240, which isn't very good. It has 8 gigs of memory and a 7200 RPM drive, but yeah, it's kind of slow because it has a crummy AMD A6 in it. I hate AMD, I'm sorry. I'm not really going to show that to you now. I think I'll make a video in the next few days reviewing that, so you'll be able to see that in more detail. But this is my brother's Lenovo Y50 he bought, how long ago? I don't know. I want to say 5 or 6 months ago. And it's been working out pretty well for him. We haven't made a review on it yet, so you guys should be able to expect a Lenovo Y50 review within the next few days. But a few weeks back, actually about a month or two ago, he was running this thing and the screen died. So I haven't had such a good experience with Lenovo. My Lenovo Y510P laptop's motherboard died a few months back. My brother's Lenovo Y50 screen died a month back, and my dad's brand new Lenovo ThinkPad X240's screen died like yesterday. So of the 3 Lenovo laptops that have come into actually of the 4 of them that have come into his family in the past 2 years, year and a half or so, 3 of them have broken. So I'm thinking it's only a matter of time till my mom's laptop breaks too. Although I really wouldn't mind replacing that thing, because I'm a little bit disappointed with the $500 deal on that thing. But I'll hopefully explain that when I make a review on it. So now I finally get to mention what these computers sitting here are. You guys have probably been wondering this for the duration of this entire video, if you've even watched this far. But yesterday, I went to, I guess you could call him an acquaintance of mine. He owns a few businesses around town. I've done work for him, IT-related work for him, that is, over the past few years. And he wanted me to help him out with something yesterday. So I went over to his business, the town over, and he gave me a few machines. The first of which is this HP compact desktop with a Pentium D that I actually upgraded to Windows 7 from last year. I think I must have mentioned this in one of my videos. I put Windows 7 on. I can't remember the exact specs. I'm not going to rip it apart for you guys right now, but it has, I think, like a couple gigs of DDR, probably DDR2 memory, and like a Pentium D or something. So it's running Windows 7, but he gave it back to me because I guess he doesn't want it. I think he said I could keep it. I think I charged him about $50 or $100 to work on this thing, to put Windows 7 on it. But I started up, it looks like it hasn't even used it, so I'm going to confirm with him that he's letting me have it back. So if he is, that's cool. I get to have, another copy of Windows 7 and everything back, so that's cool, I guess. Now, so he gave me that. He also gave me a few printers and keyboards he doesn't need. I'm just going to bring to the local dump a couple days from now on Saturday when they open up. And one of the people who work for him gave me a few machines to work on. Firstly, he said he had this laptop. This is a HP Pavilion G series. Specifically, it's a G7 1173DX. It's got like a 2.6 gigahertz, I think it's an AMD Phenom dual core, 4 gigs of memory. I'm not going to set it up for you because it has like a bunch of documents and stuff on it that aren't mine. Right now it's just updating. And he said it was broken. And he said he brought it to Geek Squad, and they charged him $100 and didn't fix the issue. Because from what he said, it wasn't even starting up, it wasn't doing anything. He just said this thing was dead. So, I take it, along with these two other desktop machines I'm going to talk to you about in a moment. And I see what's up with it. I hit the power button, and the caps lock and the num lock blink at the same time. They blink twice, pause for a while, and then blink twice again. They keep repeating that. They'll just blink twice, blink twice, blink twice, pause, so on and so forth. I looked up that blink code online. Of course, it wasn't giving any video output. And according to HP's website, that means that this computer had a corrupted BIOS, which is a pretty bad issue to have. You do not want to have a corrupted BIOS on your computer. And it made sense to me since it wasn't posting or anything, so I tried to, do some research. Tried to do some key combinations to restore the BIOS. I was going to try to restore the BIOS. I was going to put the BIOS on a flash drive and have this thing flash the BIOS automatically, but I couldn't figure out how to do that. There were a bunch of guides online describing how to do that. But for whatever reason, the BIOS update for this computer didn't have the right files on it. It was a mess. I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I was about to give up on this computer and say, screw it, it's broken, the BIOS is dead. But before I, gave up on it completely, I pulled the cover off the bottom, and I just pulled the memory stick out. There was only one memory stick in it. I pulled the memory stick out of the slot that was in, and I put it in the other slot. And I hit the power button, and what do you know, the thing works. I'm like, I wanted to facepalm because I spent 1 or 2 hours trying to figure out the BIOS flashing, when all I had to do was reset the memory. So I put the memory back into the first slot, and it still worked fine, so the slot isn't dead or anything. It's just, the memory needed to be reset, which is like a 30-second fix. Yeah, two things dumbfounded me about that. The first of which is that I spent so long troubleshooting the wrong issue that wasn't even the problem. Well, I guess it was reasonable to think it was. Second of which is that Geek Squad charged this guy $100 to not even fix it. All they had to do was reset the memory. And they charged him $100 and didn't even try resetting the memory. It was a 20-second fix, and Geek Squad charged the guy $100 and couldn't figure that out. I don't call that at all professional IT work. I don't know what the hell Best Buy is thinking, but if you charge people $100 to fix their laptop, don't even fix it when the solution was right in front of your face, it's ridiculous. Like, how do they run a business like that? What kind of business model is that? So I fixed it for the guy. I called him up today. He was pretty happy about that, I guess. So it's all running. He has all his files and stuff on it. I went ahead and I reinstalled Windows on it for him. I backed up all his files to a drive, though, because I didn't feel like manually taking off all the toolbars and crap that had been installed. So backed up his files to an external drive that I have right there, reinstalled Windows and pulled the files back onto it, and reinstalled a few of the programs. And it's running pretty solid right now. It's not a very fast computer, but it does the trick, I guess. So there's that. It's all fixed and ready to go. But the guy seemed to have pretty bad luck with computers. Like, this thing broke. So to replace this, he bought another laptop that's also broken. He's going to, he bought it new though, so he's going to just give it back to like Best Buy or wherever he bought it from. And then because those two were broken, this one and the one he bought, he also bought 2 used desktops. These are 2 Dell Vostros, one's a 230, one's a 430, that he said he bought for like $30 a piece. I do apologize, my camera's battery died. It doesn't last very long, so I've got it on the charger. But as I was saying, The guy I talked to yesterday, he gave me that laptop, which I just mentioned I fixed, and these two desktops. Now, he said he got each of these two desktops, this one on top here and the one I just showed you back over there. He said he got each of these for about $30, which is a pretty good price, because this one is a Dell Fostro 230 with a 2.93 gigahertz Core 2 Duo. I had 2 gigabytes of DDR2 memory, 1066 megahertz, and a 250 gig SATA hard drive, which is a decent deal for $30 considering the hard drive is wiped. The other one's hard drive is also wiped, but it has a Core i5 3.2 gigahertz, which sounds pretty awesome, but it's the first gen i5 from like late 2009, so it's like 5 years old, which is a dual core CPU. I had 8 gigabytes of DDR2 1333 megahertz memory, and it also has a 250 gig SATA hard drive. So he told me to set up whichever one's better. Well, he didn't necessarily say better, but he just said to put one of them together for him and set up for him, because he only needs one of them. And I asked him if I could buy the other one off him, and he said yes. So whichever one of these that he doesn't want, I will buy off him for a fair price. I decided that this one's worth about $30 to buy off from him, because it seems pretty good, but considering the fact that I have to do all the installation on it, and the fact that the sale price on eBay, disappointingly enough, is only like under $100, I would probably only give him 30 or 40 for this. Because again, I have to do all the setup work and everything on it, make sure it works, and do all the selling and stuff. So this one I'd give him about $30 for. That one I give him 75 for, because although this one's only about 15 or 20% more powerful with the i5, I'd say, its sale price is much higher because there's a lot less of them online. Because this one I guess is a more common model. So I'm gonna pay him $75 if he doesn't want that one, or $30 if he doesn't want this one. Now I swapped the memory around. This thing now has 4 gigabytes of memory. That one has 6. Each of these are running dual channel. So this is a computer, essentially it has a 2.93 GHz Core 2 Duo, 4 gigs of DDR2 memory, and a 250 gig SATA hard drive, which I think is enough for what he wants to do, because he's only really going to be running like QuickBooks, which is a, to my understanding, it's like a business organization program, kind of like Microsoft Excel, except with a whole bunch of other stuff mixed in, because we're planning out pricing and keeping business records and all that stuff. He's going to be running that, Microsoft Office probably, and like web browsing and email and stuff. So, so yeah, I think both of these computers will be suitable for him. That one being about 20%, maybe 15% more powerful. But I think I'll ask him which one he wants. I'm setting up both of them. Both of them have a code for Windows Professional on them, so I'm setting up both of them with Windows Professional, and all that. And I'll just, when I talk to him tomorrow, I'll ask him if he wants to buy, if he wants the 50%-ish more powerful one, in which case I give him $30 for this one, or if he wants this one, in which case I give him $75 for that one. So we'll see. I'll have to talk to him about that. So I think that's pretty much all I have to mention for this video. Actually, I just rambled on for a good almost half hour. I think it's about all this stuff. My head's kind of spinning since I've been working with so many different things in the past few days with all these computers and, you know, doing a server and all that. But moving forwards, I'm going back to college in, wow, 3 days? Oh my god. I'm honestly not too psyched for that because my dorm's kind of boring. But when I get back, I'll be doing more work with my server stuff. I have a server sitting over there I'm not currently using. I made a video on last year. That's not too bad. So I'll probably do something with that. I'll probably have more game servers going. I'll probably have just tinker around with maybe making an email server for myself. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. So I'm just gonna leave it off here. I think that's all I had to mention. I probably missed a few things here and there, but it doesn't really matter that much. So until the next update, I'll see you guys hopefully in the next video. Thank you for watching.